someone I was talking to a complete stranger, right? And she was like, "Oh, don't worry, my love." And I was like, "Why are Nigerians so unnecessarily like endearing and using terms of endearment?"
She says as a non-Nigerian, obviously.
Yeah, but like I feel like I'm not. I was like, I'm not your dog. Like I don't know you. Like don't use terms of endearment. But then I realized that Nigerians like to use my dear, my love a lot.
I mean, is it bad that we're romantic? Like
the thing is that you guys don't mean it. Nigerians will say like, "Please excuse me, sorry, thank you," but they are so rude and so impolite.
Sorry,
like, "Oh, please, sorry."
No, that copyrighted music.
And the last is part of me. Real.
Together kids.
Exactly. Exactly.
I'm such a hello person.
What?
Like I'm such a hello person. Like I if you greet me with a hello first, it's like I just feel like wow, you are made of joy, sunshine, and cookies. Good morning is so like
I love good morning. I love good evening. When I talk to my friends, like good morning, I'm like, why are you telling me good morning? I'm like, yeah, because good morning. Like, hello, good morning, how are you? I love greeting. And that's teaching the most.
but you said hello, how are you?
It's actually I love parties. Like, I love party for any reason. But then I love a good morning. I love a good evening. I love a sleep well.
I love to sleep well.
Yeah.
I love to sleep well.
I love to sleep well. I'm
not averse to Sange. Um, I'm not averse to good night. But there's something about good morning. Something about good morning, good afternoon that just feels so impassionate.
Like what good about the morning?
You know?
Anyway, so the secret you promised me, I've been waiting.
I almost killed someone one day. Let me explain. So, it was back in the days when I was in the ghetto, university.
Real.
Back when I was in college. That's great. I'm Nigerian. I was when I was in uni. And you know small buses, correct place?
Yeah. With the ones that are white.
Okay, in here, these parts of Lagos, they are white, but like but they're still yellow. They're still yellow. Yeah. But they're just smaller.
Yeah, okay,
they're just smaller.
So Scorpio and then the BRT.
There's Scorpio and then there's Danfo, then there's Mulu, and then there's now BRT.
Hi. Who said all this tier of transition in Nigeria?
Okay, anyway, so Scorpio is the smallest one. Okay. So it's driver, passenger, that's in front. Then there's passenger, 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 and then 3 passengers at the back. So I am yes, basically. So I am the closest to the door, like the back of the door, not at the door, but directly at the back of the person who's sitting by the door. And you know those Scorpios, they don't have like the seats, the proper seats. It's those ones that you have to like bend the seats inside because they have one leg. One rickety leg. I have no idea. I know you don't. You're like, it's for them. It's for you, because you know what I mean. So the leg is rickety, so it balances. You have to like actually lift it up and then balance it. Okay. Okay, I'm just trying to paint a picture for you. Overexpressive. The woman sits down. Okay. Right, and then the door is wide open, and we're like moving. The door not closed? They did not close the door. They don't close the door. They didn't close the door for that particular correct. More often than not, they do. And I stretch. And I'm sitting there and I just stretch my leg, thinking I'm in my father's car. I just stretch my leg and I hit the leg of her Kurokwe. And this of her chair. Yeah. Kurokwe. And this man is like, and we're speeding. Like on the highway. And she's just like leg out the door, flailing. And she's not outside. She's what? She's like out the door. It's like the two Sorry. Sorry. The two people holding her. I'm just painting. I did like, but the worst part. So the worst part of it. It's a picture of this right now. Somebody they grab her and stabilize her. They're like, oh my god, this man's boss is so bad. They way! This man was supposed to kill her, and it's like nobody saw me actually hit him, so I'm just quiet at the back. I'm solving myself from all please. If you allow me, man, and you come across this same score, sorry.
Okay, so what was she wearing? Like I feel
It was a dress, like this really.
So she was hanging.
She was just hanging.
Outside.
She was just hanging. I really thank God for the two people that they were so quick. If not, it was just gone at the tar.
So yeah,
I feel that's the end of the show.
That's manslaughter.
Yeah, but she didn't. It's not manslaughter. She's still alive.
Yeah, no, she died.
Okay, that's what's that.
So to be honest, now that you mentioned like that's so funny. My own stories are funny. It's actually.
But it's still a secret. I'll hold space for it.
Holding space will define gravity.
No one wants the weekend.
Exactly. Okay. So my show is actually illegal. Like yours is not even illegal. Okay, mine's not even illegal. Mine is like crazy. So when I was 14 or 13 or 14, we went to Paris. Right? Black people.
Black people.
Black people. Anyways, I went to Paris. I went to Disneyland because obviously people go to Paris to Disneyland. Well, because when you're obviously young. So we had a ticket, but then I didn't know that. Then I don't know what now, but Disneyland then was divided into the park and studio. The studio is where all like back then.
There's a studio in Paris.
The Disney studio. So Disneyland then was split into Disneyland, Disney Park, and Disney Studio. So I didn't know that the studio had all the cool stuff, like all the, I just thought it was much cooler. But then I used my tickets for Disney Park, which was like cutesy, fun princesses. But I actually wanted to go and see the Hannah Montana, the more Disney studio stuff, right? The park was more like for the princesses. So I broke fairy tale. And first I broke into Disney.
Period.
Right? Like I broke into Disney illegal. Studio. Like that's quite
at illegal. Like 13.
At 13. So I had so much fun. I broke into it. And obviously this is not Nigeria, like they were obviously cameras everywhere. They obviously saw me the first time I did it. But then I had so much fun. I was like, oh, my siblings don't know about this. We all used our tickets for park. Let me bring them into this as well.
Oh, you carried it down.
So I came after I had so much fun. Came out of the studio, brought my brother and his friends into the studio. But then the security was at the entrance.
Straight to jail. To jail.
As I was, because they saw me when I entered and they kind of just like let me go, right?
Aww.
But then when they saw what I was doing, like breaking people in as well, they were just waiting for us, like at the entrance.
I love this because it reminds me of when I was at Disneyland in Yaba in 2000.
Stop. Anyway.
Well, you had some cojones. Cojones. Was it fun?
It was fun, but they threw us out of Disneyland after that.
The whole park and studio.
Yeah.
Well, you got to do it.
Yeah. I was like, I had fun.
Have you been back since?
No, but I'm coming.
Yeah. I need to tell people at Noisy that like we should go to Disneyland. Like there's so much like so much to do. So much to do. Like, what did you like? Noisy team in the
Let's start the show.
Welcome to the Noisy Book Club podcast. My name is Benny. I am the moderator and manager of all things Noisy Book Club. And this is our book discussion with a member of the book club. And this month, September 2025, we are reading The Road to the Salt Sea by Samuel Kolawole, which honestly is a riveting debut. I gobbled this book up in one night. Literally, there are bags under my eyes that you cannot see because our producer is awesome from like me just reading this book. And with me today to discuss this is
Modupe. I mean, you've already know my name.
but didn't we?
Okay. Hi, my name is Modupe, and I love Kim Namjoon from BTS. Kim Namjoon, happy birthday! I love you. BTS Army for life.
Thank you for coming on the
Thank you for having me
on the podcast. Thank you for coming on the podcast.
Why did you choose me?
Because you're going to read the book fast.
Wow, so I was not even like special.
Not really. Not really. Not really. I'm joking. We love everyone in the club.
Okay.
The ones that come trap.
Okay, we love everyone in our club. I love everyone in our club.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm excited to get into this.
I am. I'm really excited. I enjoyed the book. But yeah, for now, let me just say I enjoyed the book.
Yeah.
Now let's get to questions.
Okay. My initial feelings getting into it, because it was two different reads. The first time I read it smaller, like just a small chunk. Okay. Because I felt it was a bit tedious. Really? Yes, I felt it was a bit tedious at the beginning.
What, the story or the writing?
The writing, like, okay, I liked how it started, like it put you in the middle of the mystery at the beginning. I liked that, but I think maybe a reason why I felt it was tedious was because of maybe I was just trying to get to the mystery. When I calmed down and I now picked it up the second time, yeah, it was a breeze. I mean, it was a 7 hour breeze, but it was a breeze. Yeah, but it was a breeze. So the thing, because we had a discussion prior to this about how I felt like maybe it was a bit too expository, a bit too like explanatory. Okay. Right? Yeah. But for some reason, like the second time around, picking it up, like I loved it. Yeah. Like things I felt were a bit too much became immersive. Yeah. So it kind of like creeps up on you. And I always love a story about migration, like somebody that is like finding home somewhere else, even if it's just running away from, just like doing it legally, or in this case illegally. I think they're some of the best stories. So my first question would be, what was it like, just like altogether, like what was the experience of reading it? So I think sometimes there are some books that when I pick them up, I'm already happy to read the book. And this was one of them. Like from the moment I got the copy of the book, I was happy to read. I was looking forward to reading the book. I knew that I would like the book. I don't know why. I've never read any Samuel Kolawole work before. This used to be like a short essay. I didn't read the short essay from the story. I also don't read a lot of like migration stories. But I just felt like this is one of those stories that I would deeply enjoy, and it wasn't wrong. I enjoyed the book. So initially, because I already had that mindset, I already started reading it from like very positive. I like this book. I'm enjoying this read. I think that the writer is doing a good job with telling the story well. That's how it goes. I agree. I completely agree. I do. It's so funny how in the book club we put out a poll of 3 to 4 books, and then we put it out, and then the members choose which one. And I had my eye on a different book. Are we allowed to say? No. Okay. I had my eye on a different book personally, but even though I'm the manager slash moderator, I still have to be impartial. So when I kept on seeing all of them like picking this book, I was just like, why not just now? But little did I know. Yeah, little did I know that like the people are noisy. They get it. Yeah, the book, I would say, like, I enjoy the story. So the story already is very captivating. I didn't know how well the writer would have, like, told the story. So for me, migration and telling story of migration is an incredibly technical topic. You need to, it's not like the love that everyone experiences, so you know how to talk about it.
it's a topic that you need to do your research. You need to study. You need to listen to people.
You need to travel too.
You need to travel, right? Before you tell. So sometimes when writers have to do that, I find that most of them are lazy and they don't like do the work needed to tell this kind of technical story. But I didn't feel that way reading this book. I felt like, yeah, this is it. And when we get more into the book itself, I would talk about how much I was very impressed by the storytelling, the story itself, and the research done by the writer.
I think when I started to warm up to the book some more, which was by 3 a.m.
Don't give me. I actually read the book till 3 a.m. Like I had to finish it in a day. Yeah. Like I was like,
because I knew you'd finish it fast. Thank you.
Yeah. Next one, I'm not gonna do that though. Next one, I'm taking my time.
In Jesus' name. When I started warming up to the book, I would say it's because it's so character driven. Like the story is great. Like I think the story is very great, but like we follow Able God on this journey that takes him across the Sahara, and I'm just like, wow, he's changing. Like he's changing so much.
Right.
And I love that. And I
right.
love that. And I love
Okay.
how Samuel really carried us through the complexity of his nature. Like, especially more towards the ending, he didn't shy away from like showing you that like, yeah, this is not the able God that you knew at the beginning. You know, we meet a very fidgety, a very down on his luck.
Yeah.
Like
downtrodden.
Just like I will get something someday.
Almost shy.
You know, almost shy, very complacent.
Yeah.
Even. And then this event happened that shakes him, and all of a sudden it's like I need to secure like myself, like my life. I need to live. I need to live and survive. And you follow him on this journey of what to just completely just survival. And he becomes a totally different person. I'm just like, thank you so much for this character.
I mean, what do you think about you, God?
As a person?
As a person.
I don't like it.
Would you like to?
I don't like it.
Why?
Even before like the incident happens, right? That he has to fight for his life, right? I think he was a bit too I don't want to say that I don't like sad people. Right? Because, I get melancholic. But I don't like how he absolved himself from his faults.
Right.
Like he blames his mother being religious. So yeah, I don't know. Like I do like how he's risen, but I don't know if I would like him as a person. I feel like he'd annoy me a little. How do you feel about him?
I don't care. Like I feel like if you were a real person, I wouldn't like give a second thoughts about him.
Same. He even said himself that he's ugly.
I mean, I don't judge of a person. It's like you don't
On
judge
the
it
inside.
by cover. No, so I think that he's troubled. You know what? So Able God, right, is I think a a deeply like troubled character, right? And as you said, he's evolving. And I like that about him. Like, his character is very real. Able God is very prideful. He's very arrogant, right? He thinks that life can't happen to him because he went to school.
And he judges everybody's experience.
Every single person. Like from the beginning of time, from the beginning of the book, even when they went up to that mountain, right? And he felt like, oh, so why is my brother being prayed for by the prophet about me?
And he's immediately started thinking he's the Jacob to his Esau.
Yes. Like even God has always had a very, I find, annoying view to life that he should be the special one. And I felt like that affected his experience
with people
in general. He realizes this when he's in the slave camp and so lets go and kind of just gives up and accepts the fact that, you know, I am now like I'm like everyone else. I'm suffering.
That was really the changing point.
Yeah, even I think the point I think that changes for him is when he even kills Sarge. That is it.
Sergey.
Sergey. and the other woman that he was with.
So this wife, the
girlfriend.
the girlfriend that gave birth.
Yeah. When he killed the guy, you can tell that he made him stop this extreme hero complex he had, because the dialogue he was having with himself was like, okay, he killed Doctor Badero because of self defense,
and he has used that one to hold body, throughout his
so
whole journey.
far, right? But why did he kill Sarge? No, no reason. So then he accepts himself as a villain and as a normal human being, and lets go of this like hero Superman view that he has of himself and everybody like that.
So we've been talking about Able God and the Road to the Salt Sea. So I'm going to give you a quick plot summary. The Road to the Salt Sea follows Able God, our main character. He's a Nigerian hotel worker. They call him hotel executive.
Yeah. No, hospitality
executive.
Yes.
Hospitality executive. So it follows Able God as he flees his life after an accidental murder, and he embarks on a dangerous life-altering journey to Europe via the Sahara Desert. So let's take it back to the beginning, right? To the before. Um, Hotel Atrium. I hated everything about that hotel. Like the maybe because I was seeing it through Able God's lens, and Able God hated it, so it also affected how I viewed the hotel, from the staff to the continuous plastic nature in which they're supposed to interact with guests. Samuel Kolawole make sure that you remember that they're supposed to have a toothpaste, smile teeth, something about 20 to 30 steps. Like you're supposed to do things at 10 steps interval when you come across a guest. I want to know, how did you feel like experiencing Hotel Atrium through Able God's lens?
Able was once again extremely annoying, right? That's a hotel. Like the hotel atrium was a good hotel, and good hotels are like that, right? They treat their guests. I remember he was saying like that they treat their guests like God. That's exact, and that's what people pay money
Good
to
one.
be treated like that exactly. So a good hotel should operate exactly as the hotel was like operating. You see your guests, they pay money to come here. So treat them that way. It's not a motel, which he also experienced, right? At the start of the book when he dashed into a motel to stay for the night. But this is supposed to be a 3-star, 4-star motel, hotel. I just thought that he was personal.
Yeah.
Right. Once again, it's just feeling of I'm better than this. Sure, you can be better than something, but demeaning the job and demeaning your work is a problem. You are here now, so just make the most of where you are and move out of that.
You can see that it's only until after he loses that he realizes that, oh, I could have made connection.
Made connection. And that's why I keep saying like Able God is quite annoying. Because fine, he has a university degree, he comes from a family that was one as well.
He's really good at chess.
Yes, he's really good at chess, right? He has bigger dreams for himself. He wanted to be a big man with big money. And he was even hoping that the money would even stand in place for his ugliness, as he calls himself. But I feel like he would just refused to accept his situation. That, okay, I am now broke, right? My family is poor. Even my brother had to leave me to start God knows what to make money, right? Illegal.
Illegal.
Right.
Everybody knows.
Illegal. I'm working at a hotel. How can I make the best out of this? This is how I know it's very easy for me to say this thing from my point of view. But it's also quite privileged of me to even call him annoying. Because I'm not even God and I'm not what he has experienced. But I feel like he should have honestly just enjoyed his job and mind his business and just done and gone home.
you can even see to how he interacted with the soldier. He was talking to them from his privileged position. Yes, like, exactly. You know, as a degree holder. It's quite quite annoying. But I want to just say that Samuel Kolawole wrote a good book. Really good character. And I didn't talk about it when you asked me, like, half about the book, but there was some parts that I underlined in the book. So when Abel God was in page 14, when Abel God was in the bus, and it's literally almost it relates to your bus experience, right? When he was like, "Oh, one passenger spoke up, asking the driver if he wanted to kill them all." I know that put them with him to take it easy. I just like laughed because I was like, this is such a Nigerian story. This is written like sorry. This is written like for Nigerians. It is by about Nigerians. It's so like for a book that half of it is in Niger and Libya. Yeah, it just even it's so Nigerian. Like even to the person who actually ends up saving him and getting him to Malta, to Italy, to pass Tripoli, right? Yeah. It's so Nigerian. His name is like Abasi Emeke. Yeah, and it's like, and like that. He's like talking to these Libyans, and he's like, "Naton by ton, no, Naton by ton," and it's just, I love the Nigerianism in this book. Literally, there was a part where he was like, "Oh, you like your book too much." There was another part where he was even like, the Sahara at the sea was similar in ways. The bits of bashfulness. I was like, this is someone that observes, a good book. And that's why I feel so bad for like my initial judgment. This book, and it's just like that's why when you were like, "Oh shit," I was like, but I like the book. I did like the book. I felt like maybe it was a bit too expressive, but then like you get why it is expressive because able God, you're following like what being it what we're seeing it to able God. And that's who able God is, Yeah, able God is, like I said, annoying, and I wished. And he should eventually realize this later on that he just wished that he made the best out of situations. And he didn't really even like change that much. Like he changed. No, I mean like internally because he is now accustomed to another woman. Not accustomed, but like he has a small nice relationship, very cordial relationship with another woman at the refugee camp where he becomes this like pseudo soldier. Yeah. Right? And something bad is happening to her. She's, getting sexual and he doesn't step in. And he doesn't step in, and so he's still a coward. Yeah, so he's still a coward, yeah. I guess people don't change. You just kind of mold into your circumstances. Able God is extremely real. Real. Like it's like I hate him, but like wow, he's a human being. He's a real person that you can picture in your mind existing down the street from you. I think there was a part where he was, when they were in the hotel and Dr. Badaru and his woman were at the poolside, and Ilko was also there, and he was looking at that woman and just like sexualizing her. Immediately. I was like, I feel so like sad for women generally because this is probably what happens at hotel and workers probably look at the women that come with men or guests or any women this way. And I was like, but Abel goes to a real character because this is a real experience that is very plausible. He literally stalks her. Oh, so like Abel God ruined his entire life. If he didn't stalk her, none of this would have happened. So you cried in the book? Why? So yes, I did cry in the book. It was the only tear I shed, and it was where Quiet Boy is sleeping. It's such a silly. He sleeps after. He sleeps and he was sleeping and it fell off. He sleeps and slips. Yeah. And he falls off the caravan and they don't stop. They don't stop. And you can just, for the first time, I feel like emotion that isn't survival, like Able God's own survival. Okay. You feel sad for someone else that's not Able God. Yeah, they feel sad for someone that's not Able God, and it's like I said, this is through Able God's like perspective. Yeah. I feel sad for someone that isn't Able God, and I also feel he's like, wow, oh my God, he's gone. I've been so curious about this boy. Like why isn't he eating? His mother doesn't know where he is. He ran away, and he's 15. He's very young, Yeah. And he's gone. And I was like, that is so sad. And I feel like it's because Samuel did such a good job, like giving us the character a bit, making us interested in character a bit, and then yanking him away from us, and then we can only like feel it through the lens of Evil God, right? And you just see Evil God jumps into like this leadership position where he's like, not only we get ourselves for this caravan, so be our brother's keeper, go sleep, we will watch God, and it's like that was the one moment where I was like, okay, he's shedding off some selfishness.
Okay. Okay. I got that. I wasn't sad when the quiet guy died. I just felt like instead it was a moment of mourning that they failed to clock. So I felt like at that moment I would have run away. Like once we landed somewhere, right? I would have run for my life. When I was reading this book, I was really, really reminded of Scamaland. And that was why I told you that I wasn't surprised about the way the story went into slave trade. I immediately, by the time Bentek came out, was like, he has an opportunity in lifetime, taking into Europe. I was like, oh, this sounds like a podcast I'm listening to called Scamaland. And basically, the podcast is a documentary. It reveals, right, how scammers are not actually like, doing this thing on their own volition. They're actually in a slave camp where it's a bunch of African immigrants that have been captured, right, in their pursuit to greener pastures, in Europe through like illegal means. The person who has brought them has sold them to this camp, and then the camp manager, right, so the owner of the camp, basically uses them to earn money back, and he makes them like scam. He makes them do fishing. All these like scammers, like all these text you get, all these like
links.
Have you read I Did Not Come to You by Chance by Adobe?
I haven't yet.
So basically, it's about like scammers, but in Lagos. Basically, it's happening. The real scammers in this world, like the people that are the Babanga, like are the like Malays. They aren't like Nigerians. Yeah, they are Nigerians. They're actually Asians, and they actually operate on a more brutal level, right? Where they're capturing people and forcing them to spend time in camps. Syndication, like yes, and they're actively like they got the money, and their job is to scam, right? And so Scammerland is this expose on that, and Small Q talks about how in his pursuit of greater, greener pastures, sorry, he lands in this camp where all the things that happened to Morufu, to Gaddafi, happened in Pepe. Right? Yes. It happened. They were killing people. People were dying, beating them to death. They were extorting their families for money as well. Real life, like this shit is very real. So one of me, I was like, I'm so glad that someone has told this story in this form, and I hope that people get to realize that. So even in the book, when they were captured, they were doing more of like farming, painting, house utility stuff. Yes. But in real life, what happens is that these people are captured and they are doing like very serious criminal activities against their will. Right? Real heavy stuff. Yeah, so it's real life, like very serious real life things that are happening. One thing I really thought was I hope someone and Nigeria, right? Nigerian directors, producers, I'm begging you, it's not all about like village, Yoruba people. There's so much Alright, please let's leave people no village and like let's leave the epic movies. Like leave your story, go ordinary people I love you. Or go I love you, but you guys. It's time to tell all that story. Live like you would. Like it's time for us to actually tell stories, because I wish this kind of book this is easy to adapt. This is into a okay. Well, you need funding. Yeah, you need funding. You need funding. But who are the people that want to tell the stories? And people always say like Nigerian consumers don't really consume good things. They love the party. They love feel like that's true, but still. No, I disagree. I vehemently disagree. Yeah. I feel like you have to trust your audience. Like if you give your audience a good product, they will interact with it. Yes, they will interact because this isn't not the same ones that watches Game of Thrones. Isn't not the same. Sinners. Isn't not the same ones that watch. We watch deeply complex films, deeply complex K dramas, deeply complex.
Do you get like people?
Nigerians are consuming so much, but no one is adapting our stories, and no one is telling our stories.
No, why are you dumbing down your product?
The only thing that is not real about this book is the amount of plot armor Evil God has and plot convenience. So what plot armor means is for people that watch anime, I watch anime as well, is when like they will beat Naruto up like the super most villainous and Naruto rises like and he's like
blood through his nose and he's just like I want to be an Hokage.
Yeah, my daddy abandoned me when I was small. Sasuke is now a villain. So because of that, I have one reserve power. And Naruto defeats one who's supposed to be the biggest boss of the whole wide world, plot armor. Evil God experiences very serious plot armor, right? I remember when they were shooting at him and he fell to the arms of a doctor. Who, like in reality. They were also shooting, he fell in gutter, found a gun.
Like they so conveniently
just bulleted and
they so conveniently taught him how to shoot like 2 scenes prior.
Yes. So Evil God enjoys it of plot and all that. I feel like we need plot
I can excuse it, yeah.
To let the story continue. Evil God can't die because who will then continue the story? We need to.
Moruf was dead.
Gaddafi was dead.
Pepe is gone.
Yes, so we need someone that continues the story. There's a scene that I find was quite convenient to the story. So another scene I thought was more plot convenience was, as you said, when he picked up a gun, right? Or when he falls into the arm of a doctor that takes to another camp, a refugee camp. Then he now magically the director of
becomes friends of the director of camp.
All these like plot convenience things that are happening. I like them.
I can excuse
and I can excuse them. But I really like to see them adapted into greater like other storytelling format. So more people interact with the story. And there's a popular movie that I didn't like. I don't know what the name.
I know it.
But I feel like if I say these few elements, it's a huge giveaway, but I'll still not say the name because you're not going to against me. That's why I don't say the name. But basically, it takes a very important aspect of the Nigerian life, which is, or a very important aspect of the underground Nigerian life, which is Yahoo and Yahoo plus 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 plus. And like flirts with it, right? And gets in bed with it, but not actually breaking down what the Yahoo economy is in Nigeria, right? And the story starts out that way, but then we end with gang, gang wars, those kind of things, right? Betrayal, love, romance, which are other elements of things that happen. But I'd rather, amongst the other complaints I have, I thought that in terms of telling the story of that area in Nigeria, it doesn't do it justice at all. There's a scene that in the scene, I remember the movie, so that scene in the series very clearly, where someone is putting their leg on like a turtle or something like that. And I remember saying it, but I didn't even understand. I had to Google myself. And apparently it's like a ritual thing that you do that you don't get caught. I was like, I wish, honestly, we instead got a good, strong understanding of what happened in this area in Nigeria. This book does.
And you feel like Road to Salty.
Yes, Road to the Salty takes us to a very real reality, like extremely real, or extremely real option that can happen when people do illegal migration. So yeah, that's kind of how I felt about the book. So let's talk about the other characters.
Yes, let's do. We were having a discussion and I mentioned that one of my favorite characters is Ben 10.
Oh,
and he's like,
please.
He's like the second big bad, right? The first big bad is obviously Dr. Badero.
Really?
I mean, he's doing a very bad thing.
Like Brown Witches. BDSM is not bad.
I mean, you can tell that it's more than BDSM.
Is not bad.
You can tell that it's more than BDSM.
Not to say I take part in sadism, bondage, dominance, sexual, whatever the end means. But BDSM is described as partaking in some violent sexual activity.
Then again, I was saying before, like I found myself hating Hotel Atrium because I was seeing it through Abel God's
yes,
lens.
and
I
the
do
same thing.
he was very jealous of Dr. Badero.
Yes, Abel God is so annoying. Like, fuck off. Like, no, actually, like, fuck off, because leave the man alone. He has money, he's rich. Nothing concerns you.
But he's violent. He was violent, like, because
So,
she called for help.
Did he slap
She
him?
called for help.
She never explained.
Akudo
never explained to anybody.
We didn't get the chance, but it's fine. It's fine. It's fine.
Look,
that's not even
Dr.
my favorite character. Dr. Badero. No, don't do that.
I will
do that. Oh God.
I will fight for him. No, I will fight for him.
This is why you were breaking and entering in Disneyland.
No, okay. This is why you don't reveal things to me. You don't reveal things to me. Don't. Ladies. Trust me, man, it's your own peril. No, because here we have a rich man. We have a rich man.
This babe called God is able.
Able God.
Sorry. This babe called Able God to come and save her.
No, because she killed him.
She thought she killed him. That's how bad the situation was.
So to me, like, the scenario is painted like an abusive situation, right? I think he's probably hitting her, something like that.
Mm-hmm.
But we don't know. And Able God doesn't know. But because of this obsession he has with Akudo and also with Dr. Badero.
He wants to be Badero.
Yes, he's quite obsessed.
He wants to be Badero.
And once again, he's disturbed. And I'm telling you guys, Able God is not normal. Dr. Badero is the simple rich guy who's sleeping with babes, slapping them. Obviously, he should pay for those crimes. Justice for
simple rich guy. Sleeping with babes, slapping them, justice for Dr. Badero. Wow.
No, from the point of view, if God is committing murder, we don't have, like, for me, I didn't.
No, but that one was actually clearly self-defense. Yes, because like Badero was about to kill him.
No, but the point that we got there, you know, there's a character in this book that I really like. I forgot her name, but the miss that I was working with. Able God when
the floor girl. She had one scene and she's the only person that no. Her and my favorite character are the only two people to ever clock
Able
God. Yeah,
and I feel like if Akudo had called the front desk and she picked up, the story would have gone very differently than how it was.
I also think Able God was overreacting. Able God was overreacting, like the whole situation. Like he could have absorbed himself of so much anyway because he was doing everything right.
Able God.
And this is why this is why I also think he was overreacting. Too many drugs. That nigga was on a codeine rampage.
Another thing that we missed, like the elements of like drug use.
The drug use, I love
codeine.
They would stop at Zinda. They would be looking for who can speak outside. They can buy drugs. They will be in these crazy ass places looking for the dingiest of places. Well, dingy is a different thing. Yeah. But like the crappiest of places to just find drugs. But for me, I was watching like the beginning, they were doing drugs recreationally because like you do drugs as a guy in the ghetto, just getting by, you do drugs. Yeah. It's available, it's accessible.
Yeah.
You know, but then the more they got, the more up north they went, the more it was a necessity.
Yeah.
That's what I realized. So I started to judge them less for their search for drugs.
Okay, wait. We're talking about Ben 10.
Yeah, so I was talking about Ben 10. Ben 10 was clocking his tea. And he says, when Ben 10 is like preaching the gospel of first of all,
Ben 10 that brought Malawi was praying Jehovah.
Like so Ben 10 is a Jehovah's Witness. It's obviously like a former Jehovah's Witness. Because he keeps on saying Jehovah specifically.
There's a strong element of religion.
Mm-hmm.
Right? It's so strong from the beginning to the end. Mm-hmm. So strong, understated, but very strong.
Very strong. The scene with his mom and mom, Ben 10. Okay, my favorite character because he absolutely believed in his bullshit. Like he sold his bullshit, and I'm sorry I bought it.
Did he sell it? Able God not fall for it.
Able God didn't fall for it. Able God didn't fall for it. Able God didn't fall for it. Patricia didn't fall for it.
Yes.
Patricia didn't fall for it. You know, but that's what I really like about Ben 10 is because like even with the people that he didn't, that he knew he couldn't swindle in the like, I'm smarter than you way, you know, and I can sell this to you. He was a salesman, right? And I can sell this to you, right? He still saw, like, Abel God was still in caravan. Patricia still followed. Abel God had so many chances to escape, and he kept on doubting himself over and over again.
Sorry.
But he subconsciously, it's not just
Devil.
desperation, I promise you. Wallahi, it's not just desperation.
You ain't a Muslim, so why did you say that? Like, this one ain't a Muslim.
I'm not a Muslim, but like, I'm in the. I'm in the heat of the moment.
Okay, I hear
In the
you.
heat of the moment. Anyhow, what was I saying? Like, he had so many chances to escape, like actual planned escape routes that were logical. Like, it's all spelled out for you from the moment they were at Zinda, Agendes, Sabha, Tripoli. No, not Tripoli, but Sabha especially, before the slave camp, right? Before they went to there were so many particular moments that he spelled out that I promise you, his only
when they were
fear.
in Kano and when they were still in the Niger region. Remember, his thought process was he's still too close.
He's still too close, and I don't think that
because he committed.
I don't think anybody would have caught him if he was up north.
So even when he was in Kano, he still felt like, once again, people was running from something.
He was. So I understand. Why he's not evil.
Yes, and he never fell for Benton's. Yes. Abel God was a victim of his own cowardice, right? And a victim of his own actions.
If you were Abel God, would you have dropped off once you were in Niger? At least maybe before coming
I would have
the
dropped
desert?
off when I was in Kano.
Same.
Like, I think Kano was okay.
It was definitely, the drugs played a role into it, but I also think Ben 10 was very persuasive.
Ben 10?
Yes, Ben 10 was persuasive.
Okay.
Even Patricia, who was very adamant and was like causing a little rock
in that room when they went outside.
I also think that my first side Morufos is misogynistic idea that like Patricia slept with him.
Yeah.
No, I don't think she.
I think Benton was bluffing. He would have never shown that.
Benton, obviously he was bluffing because somebody has paid him to bring slaves.
Yes, exactly.
Somebody has paid him to bring slaves, you know. But yeah, I was going into why I liked Benton. He's a deplorable character. Deplorable because like, what the fuck do you mean that like you're getting people to be slaves? To be slaves, right? But I really, really just loved how he convinced himself about what he was doing. Even to how he helped Maruf. He was just like, wow, you brought so many people to cross this desert with us because you believed in like what I'm saying. I'm going to help you. Knowing fully well he's going to abandon that nigga in a slave camp. Not caring what happens to him after that slave camp, right? And I'm just like, I love how he's written. Like, I love how every time he was on screen, like, I said on screen, every time, like, he was in the scene, in the book, right? I was enamored. I was, like, captured by, like, wow, you are horrible, but, like, this pastiche that you have, like, coated it with is so convincing to everyone around you, and that's why I hearken to everyone. He's a salesman. He's a salesman. I really like him. And I remember, like, the first thing he said, right? To Abel God was like telling him that like I can see through your shit. Like, it was like everything in life is a risk. Even common eating is a risk. It's on page 82.
There can be no
success without risking something. And you know that like he's a smart man. And is the one thing that Abel God.
Is he a smart man or is he just like,
to be convincing, you have to be smart. Like, you have to be people smart.
Salesman.
And you don't think salesmen are smart?
For me, if you couldn't convince Abel God, that for me is the test.
Who still entered the caravan? All the way to Sabha.
So can I just say that if my desperation is the reason why I buy into something, it doesn't speak to the quality of the level of convincing me. My circumstances have already convinced me enough. That's why Abel God entered that van. He knew that. He knew he was in trouble from the get-go. And that was why he kept watching Ben 10. He wanted to give him the benefit of the doubt. But I think that Ben 10 just preyed on the lack of intelligence of the people.
I agree.
And they fell for it. In fact, bringing a Babalawo to perform a ritual that was clearly a fraud, right? Signing a contract where they signed away their authority and their autonomy, and then taking them on this trip where he then begins to reveal the consequences as they advance.
As they're going without telling them prior.
Without telling them prior.
It's just
these
evil.
these are like non-sensible things to ordinarily agree to. If they tell you that okay, let's be going to Ethiopia by road, the first thing you ask questions. Like you would think like, oh, what are the consequences? What are the damages? But he went to a group of people, of boys, who he knew
were desperate.
And so that desperation took him 80% of the way.
Mm-hmm.
He needs to just smart talk them a little bit, right? For me, I think Ben 10 is like Able. Right, I can see.
He gathered the people and they were laughing.
But I don't think it's premised off of his charismatism or charismatic. I don't think he's charismatic. I kind of disagree. I think he's a dickhead.
I agree.
He's a dickhead, and I honestly, I think that you can be evil, but at least like be an evil genius.
Do you think Sergio was an evil genius?
I think Sergio was just evil.
Sergio was just a prick. But I don't know, justice for Ben 10. Like, I think he was evil.
Why always saying justice for the people? Guys, just get this now.
Okay, not justice because he was a dick. Like, but I don't know. I really liked how convincing he was. I liked how people smart.
Yes, he was people exactly. He was people smart.
And I think that's intelligence too. I think that's it's a very important form of intelligence.
For a salesman.
Yeah, it's a very important form of intelligence. So I like that.
Who else do you like celebrating?
Oh, Maruf.
Marufu.
Ah.
I knew you were going to die from the beginning.
The thing, like, I knew it was coming.
Yeah.
I knew it was coming. And it was just so sad, but it was just like, when it came, I was just like, he's gone. He's gone. That was why, I would have expected that was what would have made me, like, tear up, like, be the part of, like, Morpho's death, but it was just like, it kind of, like, it did. I really like Morpho. What about you? Who did you like?
No one.
They were all pretty annoying.
Yeah, like they were all so annoying. I don't think there's anyone that I think maybe Abel God is my like least disliked character. I like Abel God. Not because even if I find him extremely annoying, I just enjoy the way the story flows out from his perspective. There was even a scene where Abel God's younger brother, offers him and he's just like declining because he's so such an arrogant prick.
So prideful, like collect the money, you live in rubbish.
In the face, / brothel. So there's no character that I particularly strongly like. Oh wow, I like them. I think that they're damn. But perhaps like Akudo.
I was warming up to Akudo until she left.
I don't know. What do you think she would do?
No, not she left. Like she left the story.
Yeah. She's very underdeveloped.
One of my favorite things about her. Like, because I told you that I thought it was going to be like, I thought they were going to be on the journey. I thought they were going to be on the journey together.
I'm so happy that not happening.
I'm so happy because I don't know if it's that I would have also been unhappy.
Yes, but too many things in one book spoils things.
Do you get? And I just as annoying as he was, like the reason why we keep going back to Evil God is because this story falls apart if there's no Evil God, right?
But I kept it to the end.
So I was so happy that we're not getting that. Like when I realized that we're not getting a clue at all. I was like, okay, that's good. God. That's good. It's also nice to read a book in a book club that is one person's perspective throughout. I feel like we'll be switching a lot, And then Akudo comes up again, but at the tail end, and it's like, are they going to? And I know no.
I think there's some elements of Akudo that I can tell a strong female lead. So
she made it. She made it to Tripoli.
Yeah, she made it to Tripoli. Her daughter is just like a boy, so that's
very smart.
That's all smart.
Very smart,
right? She's able to perform first aid and CPR, right? Because remember that scene with the football and when she runs
saves the boy,
saves the guy, right? She's able to think on her feet. I find that Akudo has elements of a character that I would ideally like, but Samuel Kolawole did not write about her, which I find quite impressive. Many writers always, try and jumble up characters and try and like deep dive into someone that is not relevant to the story at all. Akudo has betrayed able God and escaped with her daughter by herself, right? I like that I find that very smart. The fact that she has disguised her daughter as a boy to avoid them getting raped.
And if you really think about it, it's like, what would have that extra baggage done, right? Because you are able God is bringing this opportunity to you to leave the country. Like, he's the one who is in charge of it, and it's like, how much control do you really have? Would she really have?
She didn't know that man.
She didn't know him.
Yes, and that's
exactly.
Able God is quite shocking because this woman doesn't know you.
She doesn't know you. She placed a call to the front desk.
She doesn't know you, and you now tell her what to do. You say, okay, wait, you're coming, you want to come and rescue her. This is someone that is a prostitute, has a child, and has basically been surviving from the hands of an abusive man, right, lover. She is a quick thinker. She does CPR. She knows how to do like first aid. She has survived all the way to Tripoli, right, where they are about to take a boat to Italy. She's clearly like very smart and independent. Why on earth would you think that you can trap her in this your obsession?
In this obsession that you want to take her across the desert.
She's obsessed with her, and
you've known her for what, 5 seconds?
I don't think that Able God is in love with her. I think that he's
obsessed
and annoying, right?
Okay? Let's be nice. He's infatuated.
No, he's annoying because I don't know why he's even waiting.
He can be both.
At Malta, waiting there at the border, checking whether she lands. Like, what do you want to do with
What
that?
do you want to do? Like, I love that he came to the realization that, like, you know what? Like, she made it all the way to Tripoli.
By herself.
But he ended up saying that, like, somebody asked him, do you have family? He said yes.
Yeah, so I was like, yeah, this guy obviously is still jobless. And another thing I thought was quite like influential in their decision making is, I think 2 things pushed many people and aided their decision making: drugs and religion.
My favorite scenes is where, like, you can see that Patricia is really losing her shit. But she puts it together and she's just like, everybody, let's start singing songs of worship.
No.
Let's start praying.
There was that scene where the quiet guy had just died.
Yes.
And she started singing, she was like, praising the Lord.
It was the next stop.
It was the next stop when they were all so quiet. And even the Muslims start. And I think that scene.
This book is begging to be adapted to the screen. Begging.
No, because that scene where Patricia starts singing. And they all, with such emotion and passion, start singing with her.
Even the Muslims.
The Muslims were like, let's all
just join.
Religion is both used as an evil tool in this book, but as something that is a salvation. Something that
like an anchor.
Yes.
An anchor.
At that point, they were like, our lives are over. We
finna die.
Yeah, we need a divinity to come and rescue us. And here's Patricia, seeming like the prophet and the pastor of this divinity, this divine being. Let us worship her God, right? And able God, who is even agnostic, doesn't like religion, starts singing and starts praying, right? And they're all praying with her, saying amen. And I believe that religion is used, like, you don't even have to even status to know that Samuel Kolawole has used religion in this book as a very interesting tool to how Nigerians make their decisions, right? When they got there, they were like, we'll make it there in Jesus' name.
In Jesus' name.
Right. They were like, God will see us through the desert. People that were engaging in illegal activities.
The core of the book is so Nigerian because there's so much that we tell ourselves that, like, even in the bad things that we're doing, we're like, may God guide us. Like, arm robbers, like, this is a real thing. Arm robbers, before they go out, they will pray.
Right? These people had just done a ritual of Babalawo. The next thing, they were praising.
In fact, the first thing that, like, Ben 10 meets them with is Jehovah Witness tracts.
Yes. Right? and I keep thinking, like, this is interesting, right? People that are not morally right, and are taking illegal action These are morally, legally, even socially flawed people. And I say socially flawed because we see them taking part in hard drugs. And when they started doing drugs, it was premised upon they have a hard life, so they need something to kind of relieve and alleviate all that pain. And we see even able God feeling, and he's very high end. I'm able God. I'm better than these people. I can't use drugs. But then you see him eventually using those drugs, and then it's been a vital part of his survival now. Of his social life. Of his social life, right? Because he then becomes more audacious. What do you think? I think that, first of all, he had been, even before they had shipped him off for slave trade, okay, unbeknownst to him, right? He had been consuming a lot of drugs. Yeah. And it changes your behavior a bit, right? And I think, honestly, I'm of the opinion that that was what like exacerbated his reaction to the Dr. Badero thing. Also might have even influenced his like obsession with Akudo. Yes. It might also influence his obsession with Akudo, Yeah. So then I was really judging him for like how much he was using it. But it was so interesting to see like Moruf like sniff glue. Moruf. No, it was Gaddafi that was sniffing glue. Gaddafi was sniffing glue, but like Moruf like really like did all sorts. He did all sorts. Codeine, the ganja and all of that. And like he would perform ablution and go and pray. Girl. They gotta pray. Like they have to pray. And I just love like it's just so human. Like it's just so real. Because like these are people I know like can't get into like stories, but like I know people who would do crack. Like crack, right? And then they'd be like, I have nothing but God. Real. But you have crack. No. God ain't crack. You can't be doing crack. You have to run him. People gonna say like you said, the book is incredibly human. Right? And I applaud Samuel Kolawole for writing a story. A Nigerian story, a migration story, and a human story. A human story, a story about slave trade. It's so hard to pull all of that off in 270 pages. And with your main character being almost unlikable. Unlikable. But you are still empathetic. Yes, I am so like it's a good book. It's a good book. I'm surprised it got longlisted, shortlisted for so many awards. Yes. And now Able God now has escaped Sarge. Is now a part of kind of the militia of another slave trader who is doing it ethically because the UN is the head of the refugee camp where it's just as bad as where he's coming from. And that's very real. Like they basically at this point in the book they're at a refugee camp that is sponsored by the United Nations and all these non-profit organizations. Yes. And the Abdulrazak. I actually love how much they even expose what happened. They expose and like Samuel isn't afraid. Like Samuel isn't afraid. It's all photo because he says it like as Abel God is walking into his office. He says outside is so well kept. But inside there's cobwebs is not taken care of. Smells. And what really hit me about that, it was like, yes, we're a refugee camp of people that are displaced, but we have to displace people because that's how this place keeps running. And he said it. He was like, we don't steal from them to harm them. We don't need their money. We steal from them, we displace them, so our business runs. And there's a whole like it reminded me of like this podcast I was listening to about, I've forgotten the name. No, it's a YouTube video, right? FD Signifier. He talked about how in 2023 there was a research done showing that like a lot of these NGOs, the UN specifically, like they are not actually enacting change. Yeah. Because they live on the cycle of the people that are displaced, the cycle of people that are suffering. And this is such a clear representation. When they like raped the woman with the children. I was like, these are real refugee stories, and this is exactly what happens in and IDP, didn't do anything. IDP camps. What could no, that's what I'm saying. Like he didn't do anything because he couldn't do anything because it's one against how many soldiers. Yes, what could he have? What could he have? And at the time, he was still a normal refugee. Like, exactly. He just packed his bag and left. And eventually, when he crossed the sea and he had that experience, I was thinking about how human that whole experience was to even God. When they were on the sea, the engine had failed.
And he tried, like he really tried. He washed the
with
well, and I will not like that's the this is why I'm like Samuel is a real G for this book because one of my fondest memories of my dad was him teaching me how to wash plug. Right? And you dip it in the like tank, get a broom and you like scrape the soot off of the plug. Yeah. And then like
so I was quite surprised.
So like reading that I was just like, this is so real. But like obviously me, I'm doing it from like, oh, I just want my gen to work again. He's doing it because he needs the boat to work. He needs the boat to work. So it's under pressure and it's like it's the small mechanical like support you can do, mechanical support you can do, like, and it's not working, And it's like
it's a good book.
The moment where they are all in the boat and they all have to just like let go of everything inside of them. Literally, they have to pee. They have to poo.
Oh my god!
I didn't want to say like pee and poo.
Like, and I opened it, page 272, where they were like the adults vomited too. They also soiled themselves. The culprits that neither gave a warning nor asked for permission.
And all of
them.
They
did not speak, but their eyes were filled with shame. Some even covered their faces while they did their business. At first, the combined smells were unbearably nauseating, and Elisa said more vomiting. But they soon got used to it as the air became thick with foul smells. Like, I was like, damn, like...
And the most human thing about it is
very
that
human.
They all understood.
Exactly.
So it's like, yes, you're ashamed, but it's like...
choice.
Look at the shame in my eye also. The shame in my eye also. So like, there's shame to share. And
yeah, that was an incredible
It's a hard book, look. Yeah, it's a hard book. It's a hard book.
I was sad reading, so I don't feel sad for one character. I feel sad for the situation. And yeah.
I feel sad for Bader. He was just a masochist.
I would highly recommend Sadie's. I love BDSM. I would highly recommend reading. So what would you rate the book?
Ooh.
Out of 10.
Out of 10. I will rate it a don't forget to like and subscribe. I would rate it a don't forget to like and subscribe because this was a fun chat. We really gave it our all. Our blood energy. I think we even like exchanged shame a bit.
Which shame?
I told you my shame. You told me your shame. You're a burglar. I'm a manslaughter.
Okay, I'm a burglar. I look for fun and
you are an international burglar, sir. So I feel like we've both shared things that we, that like we've done. So why not share this video also? At least that's not shameful.
Yeah.
That's not shameful.
Share, like, subscribe, comment.
Pick up this
the pretty girl here.
Trisha, she's busy. I can't even hit.
Thank you.
She's quite beautiful.
I love when beauty surpasses hatred. You hate her, but she's pretty.
Yeah. So pick up a copy and join us. On the 27th of September at the Noisy Book Club. Everything is in the description. How to get a ticket to the book club, where we meet. And yes, I hope you enjoyed this discussion. But for true. I would rate this a solid, maybe anti-bias, but like I'm at a good 8.5 right now. I'm a good 8.5. In fact, 8.75.
8.75. I would give it a.
She's a hater. She's about to.
I'm a well-known hater, so let me just give this a 8.5.
Oh, okay. That's nice. Nice. I have one last question for you before we go.
Okay, what's the question? Please. Down.
No passports. Nigeria has gone to absolute China.
Okay.
No visas. Where would you trek to? Where would you enter a caravan to?
Okay.
Which country would you enter a caravan to?
If they do, so South Korea. Now June. I
feel that producer, please. I rather you
BTS, I'm coming for you. I would go to Seoul. Are you joking? Yeah. Or Beijing. Even though they are not really refugee friendly.
Ooh, you would like a July in Beijing.
Yeah. Girl, how are you this man is shocking me. That's supposed to be my spam account. Producer, let's end the show. This man is stuck to the story now. Bye.
Like, I love when Okara men are trying to get my attention. They're like, fine boy. Like, yes, obviously, I will enter you. Pause. I will enter your bag. Hey, cut. Let's grab this concept.